and they have a lot of the same issues that people who are just starting out have. And so I don't know, I just keep learning more and more. I've been doing the Sacred Money Archetypes for about 10 years, and I learned it from the woman who created this particular system, Kendall Summerhawk. And I was privileged to do about 3 years of training with her on money archetypes and many other things, a lot of other business coaching things. And I discovered business coaching by accident, actually by car accident, some years ago, and didn't expect to love it so much. I just knew that I needed to learn how to market myself to pay off my medical debt. And along the way, I just kept taking more and more training from more and more of the best business coaches and mentors I could find, and love it. And so it kind of took over from the personal facilitation and brain balancing work I was doing before that for almost 30 years. So yeah, it just kind of all, it kind of all flows together.
Yeah, and I know you kind of talk about that during the presentation too. So I'm to soften the body. You might find that you can breathe deeper. And with those breaths, you can feel yourself relaxing even further. Dropping down into your heart, letting your belly soften. Maybe your head can just float like a helium balloon. Allowing this breath to not only relax the body, but also to maybe release thoughts or let your thoughts come and go. Maybe just noticing your thoughts. Allow this breath to also move into how you feel emotionally. Again, not to judge, but just to be aware. And so with these next few breaths, notice if there's something that comes up as far as what you would like to maybe focus on, or maybe there's a strong intention for what you desire when it comes to either your money or this workshop, or just something that could show up, being open to maybe something revealed that you weren't expecting. Nice deep breaths. And when you have a clear picture of that, feel free to maybe let the eyes gently open, taking in colors and light and shapes. You can maybe write down your intention, or if you would like to ask yourself the question, what would I most like to receive? Or what is a challenge that I would like to receive an answer to? So your intention can be a declaration. It could be asking for an answer. And whenever you feel clear about that, feel free to also light your candle as a symbol of setting this intention or asking these questions. And if you haven't lit your candle yet or turned on your flameless candle, go ahead and do that. Just creating this beginning to your experience, your process. All right. So I'm going to turn this over to Rose. And I did also email everybody the mini assessment. So if you haven't gotten that, we can put that in the chat box and you can refer to that. But also, Rose is just going to be able to talk us through it. So don't feel like you have to have that handout, but you do want a piece of paper or your journal so that you can write things down as she takes us through the process. So Rose, I'm going to have you take us on this journey.
Okay. And Barbara, could you pop that into the chat box just in case anybody doesn't have it in front of them right at the moment?
Absolutely.
You can just go through it together.
Okay. Do you want me to put it on the screen at all, or do you want to go?
Sure. Why don't you? Yeah. Could you go ahead and put it on the screen? That's probably just as easy.
Why don't you go ahead and get us started? Because this is going to take me a minute then.
Okay. All right. So the way this works is that there are 8 archetypes that I'm going to talk about today. Say eight sacred money archetypes. And what I'm discovering is, of course, the way you do money is the way you do everything. And that this is useful not only in becoming really aware of what our relationship with money is, but it may be true about our relationship with other people or the way we relate to our work, just all kinds of things. And so there's 8 questions on this page, and I'm going to ask you to go through each one and score it 1 to 10, and 1 means not so true of me, and 10 means very true of me. And so let's see here. And don't overthink it. Just
yeah, just talk us through it, because I am not finding it.
You're not finding it? Okay. Let me see because I had my PowerPoint all queued up. So let me just grab it.
I mean, I'll still do it, but go ahead. Yeah, I think if you just talk us through it, we'll be okay. And I still will look for it.
Okay, well, I'm looking for it too, because for the same reason. I had everything queued up for.
That's okay. I think if you just talk us through the questions and we can write down 1 through 10, 10 being the most, right? So we can keep moving.
All right.
Barbara, I don't think you sent me the download.
Did you get the email? I sent the email last night.
No, I only got, the last email I got was.
Susie, did you get the handouts when I sent the email last night?
I'm taking a look at it here.
Oh, yeah, I did. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Rose, if you would be okay, if you have to refer to, can you just walk us or talk us through it?
I need to pull it up too, because I was focused.
You need it for reference.
I need it for reference because I want to be.
That was one thing we just didn't do when we were.
Well, we were focusing on the PowerPoint, and I can pull it up here just a second. Here we go. I can also just do it from memory. But I want it to match the piece that they all have. So
is it the mini assessment?
Yes, the mini assessment.
Okay,
yeah.
I have it.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Do you want me to read the question?
Because I'm super prepared usually.
Well, me too. Here we go. I've got it. I found it.
And I found it too.
I know. Barbara and I are both usually like way over prepared, right? And so we knew we had this.
Here we go. All right, so go ahead and we've got this on screen share, and I'll have you talk us through it.
Perfect. All right. So let's just start with number 1. And this is, I want to make a world a better place, and money is really secondary to me. So just give that a 1 to 10. If that's really true for you, give it a 10 or any number in between. And then the second one, luxury and comfort are important to me, to my sense of well-being, to my core sense of well-being. And there are no good or bad answers, right or wrong answers to any of these. It's just information. Number 3, I love being the center of attention. And number 4, I live outside the box, taking risks and finding unusual solutions. Number 5 is I love being with people and connecting them to each other. Number 6, and that's like, you know, oh, you must meet my friend so-and-so. That's that kind of connecting people with each other. Okay, number 7 is, did I miss one? Number 6, yeah, I'm careful, even frugal or tight with my money. I avoid taking risks. And number 7, I love taking care of people, cooking or just looking out for them. And the last one, people count on me to organize things, to get things done, to create things, to create order out of chaos.
So I just want to make sure there's 1 through 8. So everybody has 1 through 8. And then,
Well, yeah, number 1 through 8, and then your score, your personal score between 1 and 10.
1 and 10. Okay, yeah, sometimes I overthink this. So does anybody need to run through this again? Or because I think I missed one because I was thinking too much about the one before. Does anybody need more time, or you want to run through it again?
I can do that. Okay, so the first one is I want to make the
Hey,
world.
Rose, that was a question, but I think everybody is good.
Everybody good?
Does anybody need more time? Okay, then we'll keep going.
Okay, good. And did you want to, did you already invite people to journal about their intentions specifically around money issues in their lives?
Did everybody have a chance to go ahead and with their intention, they wrote down what they want to work on today? Okay.
Yeah, specifically like money.
I have you, just so you know, I have you muted because I have like 5 birds, and the more you guys talk, the more they compete with you. So I'm doing sign language because they'll start screaming.
I know we can do like a different, you know.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that because this is a smaller group, we're going to make this, I probably won't even do breakout rooms. We'll probably just make this really interactive. So it's a little off script, and we didn't have the mini assessment and all that stuff set up because we're a little bit more casual, I guess. So that's why I wanted to ask, but I think we're all good with our intention. Everybody's done the mini assessment. I know where I skipped one. And then, yeah, I'll let you go ahead. Now you've got your PowerPoint queued up, right?
All right. Well,
So I have a question. What are we doing with this?
I'm going to go
assessment?
I'm going to go through this right now and assign a name. Which one?
Perfect.
Okay, yeah.
Thank
And
you.
do feel free to ask questions at any time. Interrupt me is fine. Okay, so the first one is alchemist. The second one is romantic. The third one is celebrity. Number 4 is maverick. Number 5 is connector. Number 6 is accumulator. Number 7 is nurturer. And number 8 is ruler.
Is what?
Can you run through those again? Because I can't write as fast as you were saying.
That's fine. That's fine. I want to follow your lead. Okay, 1 is alchemist. Number 2 is romantic. Number 3 is celebrity. Number 4 is maverick. Number 5 is connector. 6 is accumulator. 7 is nurturer. And 8 is ruler.
Is what?
Wonderful. Thank you.
What's 8?
What, Samantha?
What is
8?
What's the last one?
The 8 is ruler. ruler, like a governor or somebody who rules, who organizes things, gets things done. Okay. All right. So I'm going to minimize that. I'm going to open up my slideshow and make sure I have gallery view. Yep, I do. So, all right. I want to be able to see you all as I present this. So that's my ideal goal here. Okay. So sometimes, yeah, there we go. Can you see this slide, everybody?
No.
And if you're muted, I
No, we can't.
cannot see it. Oh, okay, I know. Got it. I need one more step here.
We're a lot further than we were a year ago with Zoom.
Yes, it just started hailing really hard here.
Where are you?
I'm in Seattle. It's not supposed to hail like that here. Okay. All right.
There you go.
Sometimes it works better if I'm not too prepared. All right, here we go. So now can you see the screen?
Yes.
And I'm doing this, starting my slideshow from the beginning. And it should take up the whole screen in a moment. Here we go. Okay, now you can see it?
Yes.
Okay, good, thanks. And tell me if I go too fast or you want to ask a question, feel free to
I
enter.
lost the whole picture.
Oh,
No, you know what? It's okay. I want to make sure that we can. Samantha, can you see it though?
No, I can't see anything now.
oh,
That's your computer, sweetie.
That's
Yeah.
that's your device.
I think it is.
Okay, I'm going to sign out and come back on then.
All
That's,
right.
that fixes so many things.
Well, for the sake of time, I'm going to have you keep moving forward, and
I'll do
Samantha,
that.
I will let you back in.
Okay, here we go. So, yeah, that's me. I'm a certified master business coach, been doing that full time for the last 10 years. And before that, I did a lot of other personal and professional facilitation, including brain work. And now I've got a sidebar. Is the sidebar covering up any of the titles for you?
No, we can see it all.
See it all. Okay, great. All right. So money is just a neutral tool. It's not good. It's not bad. If you're a good person, money's not going to turn you into a different kind of person. So we don't have to worry about that. But in our culture, there are so many things that we've been taught unconsciously that our parents and adults didn't even know they were teaching us as we were growing up about money. And, you know, money is the root of all evil and greed and this and that. So this work has been created specifically to help balance that out so that money is can be used in a healthy, natural way as a tool. All right. And so sometimes life hands us situations where we're sort of, what's demanded of us is to change everything. And that happened to me. And that's how I even am doing this work. As we go through life, we have cycles of change that get sparked and initiated by different events in our life. And when we start a new cycle of change, which just keeps happening over and over throughout our life, the first step that I always look at that happens is our identity changes. We may become a mother, we may become a wife, we may have a new job, or we may decide we're going to stop being a doctor and we're going to start being a painter. So there's a big identity shift, and it leads to a whole new layer of growth. And so the first thing is our identity generally is pulling us in the direction of contentment, our life purpose, and what feels more authentic to who we really are. And this is true in business, it's true in life, it's true in relationships. I find this to be true across the board. And if any of you know Chinese 5 elements, this also matches with the Chinese 5 elements, which is outside of what we're going to talk about today. But if you think you're seeing that, yes, you are. All right, so contentment, and then we go to self-worth. Well, how good am I at what I'm doing? Am I providing something of value? How do I feel about myself in this new identity. And then flow, we come to a more of a level of mastery and ease and flow with the new activity, the new identity. And then we get more skillful and develop our strategy so that we're proactive and can really be masterful in this new level of functioning or new way of functioning. So back to my story, just to let you know how I kind of got into this. So as I said, I've been doing brain work for 30 years, like before it was fashionable. I was fortunate to run into a genius who I apprenticed with basically to do the left brain, right brain, front and back, top and bottom, all the different parts of the brain. So I was doing that and loving it. And then I had a life-changing car accident that left me in so much debt that I just figured out, you know, I've been doing everything word of mouth till now, and it isn't going to be enough to handle this debt. I need to just really change my identity into a business owner at a much higher level to deal with the debt. And I realized that's when I realized I didn't know how to market myself. I actually had taken pride that I had never marketed myself. And that's when I realized, gee, I think marketing is a bad thing. And I've got to find a mentor that can help me learn to market in an ethical, service-oriented. In Asia, when I teach in Asia, they say, oh, love-based marketing. I said, yes, that's it. That's it. So the money became really a serious issue for me. And as I was recovering from the car accident, I had a lot of time to lay there and think. And then I started running into people who said things like, one person shared this, I'll do it for less. She was at a party and somebody said, well, what do you do? What do you charge? And she said, oh, I charge this, but I'll do it for less. And she was shocked to hear herself say that. And the other person had not protested, didn't question it, the price didn't bother her at all. It's just this self-worth, right? Am I really worth it? Is anybody really going to pay that? So, and then someone else I ran into and I said, oh, by the way, what do you do? And she goes, oh, I have my own business, but I'm not in it for the money. And I thought, okay, I'm being directed here. And so I've gotten really fascinated by, like, some people's goal for money is to be able to travel to Paris and have leisure time and sit in beautiful sunny places like Southern California. And so whatever your money desires are, whatever your money challenges are, there's always more levels of understanding. And it's the subconscious things we don't know are blind spots. They call them blind spots for a reason. Those are the things that trip us up and keep our life from being what we want them to be. So this work is going to unleash those blind spots so that that energy becomes available for you to use to create what you want in your life. And so when we're not conscious of these subconscious things, they're like this tangled mess inside of us. And all we know is that we feel frustrated in some part of our life where we want to move forward. And then when things get organized and coherent around a core of who we really are, then there's much more room for the love and the enjoyment of whatever it is we're doing, whether it's business or personal life. I'm going to move quickly through some of these, but this is when everything's aligned. You are in the zone, like Michael Jordan used to talk about from the Chicago Bulls. Michael Jordan, some of you will remember that when you're in the zone, everything's effortless. You're in the flow. And when you're not in the zone, you are either stuck going forward, you're compelled, you can't stop, you're doing, or you feel immobilized. And this is a picture of Gulliver being tied down by hundreds of tiny little things. And so sometimes it's not one thing, sometimes it's just, I can't get going and I don't know why, right? And so that's part of the work too. The other thing is that you need to have your own fit, your own style of running your life, running your business, because otherwise, if you're doing it like somebody else is doing it, you're going to feel like you're wearing somebody else's clothes. All right, so we want this feeling of, yes, this is who I am. This is how I'm meant to live. All right, and it needs to be coming from your soul. These things are built in. We're born with gifts, with predominant archetypes to make our way in the world. These are the gifts that have been given to us to use. And a lot of times it's unconscious, and sometimes we're in circumstances where they're not fostered, and so they don't develop. And the money archetype assessment, and we'll come back to that again. The money archetype assessment is a way to become conscious of the blind spots and the things that have not been supported to be developed so that we can begin to change that. And on some level, all of us know to follow our instincts. And yeah, the road seems a lot less twisty and turny when we follow our instincts, and we can move straight ahead. All right, so we talked about that. And particularly Kendall Summerhawk, who created this system and who's licensed me to teach it, put the words sacred and money together on purpose because she wanted to break down that division between, people thinking money's not spiritual. And boy, if you think money's not spiritual, there will be a part of you that's always going to make sure you don't have enough, just to make sure you don't turn into a greedy person. And it's so subconscious, even if you've done years of spiritual work on abundance. That's why they call them blind spots. All right, so money doesn't make people greedy. Being poor doesn't make people spiritual at all. We're just born with these God-given gifts. All right, so that's how we're going to look at these archetypes. And my big why is that women are half the people on the planet. Women do not control half the money on the planet. And wouldn't it be a different kind of world if we did? Just, it's kind of fun to think about what that might be like. And so one of my motivations is to empower women to make a bigger difference in the world by having access to more power, more money, more self-fulfillment, and doing the work of their life, doing the work of their heart. So, all right. So some of these, yeah. So this is the realization that I had while I was laying there in bed recovering from the car accident. It's like I realized that money is everywhere. It's behind every decision we make. It's like wallpaper, and it affects everything. And then I had to get it handled. So these are just pictures of a few of the better known people that I studied with. And so we already took the assessment. I just wanted to show you there's a bigger assessment too. So we did the mini one just now, the brief, quick one. This one takes, people tell me it takes anywhere between 10 minutes and an hour to do the whole thing. And I think it depends on how much you think about it. It's they're wonderful questions. They're really thought-provoking questions. And it doesn't have to take a long time, but again, you rate each one, 1 to 10, and then you add up the scores, and it will really give you a very accurate assessment of your top 3, well, all of your 8 archetypes, how they rank. And what I like to look at is the top 3 and the last one. And we'll talk about the last one later. It is equally important to the top 3. And so this is a whole different format. We don't have time to do this today, but I will make this available for anybody who's interested. And we do the archetype assessment, the full assessment, and then we do a whole full consultation on what that means and how you can apply that in your life. So there's the brief one that we already did. And so again, we look at the top 3 and the last one. And the weakest link and how it relates to the top 3, we'll get to that in a little bit. I'm going to just start talking about each of the archetypes. So the first one I'm going to talk about is alchemist. Alchemist is the one who doesn't care about money. Alchemist just wants to change the world. And that's why before the car accident, I really never gave money a thought. I knew I was doing the work of my heart and I loved it. And my clients were happy. I was happy. I had enough money. I didn't need a lot. And I realized I was not taking care of my money enough to get myself out of that huge medical debt. So that's typical for alchemists. They have a hate-love relationship with money. They just want enough money so they can keep doing the work that they love. Nurturer is somebody who takes care of everybody else and sometimes forgets to take care of themselves. And so that's the challenge for the nurturer. Each of these archetypes has a balanced state. It has an overactive state and an underactive state. And our challenge when life works the best is when it's in balance and harmonized with the other archetypes. So nurturer, overactive nurturer really does forget to take care of themselves. They're likely to burn out, or maybe they tell their 45-year-old child to be sure and take a sweater. That might be a little overactive nurturer. And then underactive nurturer is somebody who really maybe could have a little more compassion than they do. Ruler, well, Oprah is one of my favorite examples of a ruler. She gets things done. And when she gets more money, she builds another school or does something wonderful with it. She creates things, she creates structure, she creates order. And ruler is wonderful. If you're a business owner, it's wonderful to have a strong ruler. A ruler that's overactive would be domineering, and a ruler that's underactive can't get things organized. So again, that's some of the ways that might show up in your life or your business. Romantic well, romantic loves luxury. Do you see she's wearing like a spa robe and she's got champagne and she looks like she's relaxing in between spa treatments or something. Romantics love luxury. And this is great. There's nothing good or bad about this. But if she loves luxury to the point where she becomes bankrupt, that's not so good. And if she doesn't, some people are harsh with themselves and they work, a workaholic would be maybe the opposite of the romantic, that they don't think about, they'll just put on any old thing or may not have a comfortable chair to sit in their house and they're not aware of it. They don't think about it. I have some loved ones in my life who really don't give it a second thought. And if that's what they want, that's their choice. You get to live your life any way that you want, which is a great thing. Connector is a social person, very social person, and they really love networking. My uncle was a great connector. You couldn't talk to him for more than 3 minutes without him handing you somebody's business card and saying, oh my gosh, you call so-and-so, they'll get you connected with something, the resources you need. He loved connecting people. Overactive connector might be a little pushy about it. Underactive connector is probably sitting next to Oprah and forgets to give her their business card, something like that. What is it, JJ Virgin? Those of you who know, JJ Virgin is a nutritionist and really famous now, but she worked on a television show, some big name, for years and never let anybody know that she had her own expertise and had her own programs and such. Didn't occur to her. So another one of alchemists, because there's usually a lot of alchemists on these programs. I tend to attract alchemists. I'm a strong alchemist myself. Again, just want to hold the world, just want to change the world, make it a better place. Money is secondary. So alchemists really need to learn systems that can make them happy, that help them deal with money. All right, and celebrity. Some people think celebrity is a bad thing, selfish, self-centered. Not really. A balanced celebrity is delightful to be around. You want to make sure if you're having a party that you invite a celebrity person, which is just somebody who is happy receiving a lot of attention. They're usually good at telling stories and entertaining. And I had a party once and I didn't realize until I was in the middle of the party, I had invited all quiet people. So note to self, look at the party list next. I just invited, people I really liked and turned out that way. So life of the party. And an overactive celebrity could be somebody who kind of dominates the party and sucks the air out of the room. That's not so good. But we really need our celebrities because they entertain us and they're fun. They're really fun. Too low of a celebrity, a celebrity's my lowest archetype. And I'm working on that because I get shy. So I have to have my teacher self come in and take over because I do love teaching. That helps me get over my shyness. Accumulator is somebody who pays careful attention to their money. A balanced accumulator has a healthy bank account and they spend money when it's prudent, when there's a benefit to come from it, and they know that it's an investment and they're going to get a good return. And they invest in training, they invest in themselves, in bettering their professional skills. An overactive accumulator would be somebody who could be dying and they're on the steps of the hospital, but they can't bring themselves to go inside. because they know it's going to cost some money. That's a little out of balance. Or they'll drive across town to save 5 cents because the lettuce is on sale. And so an underactive accumulator is somebody who never opens their bills, doesn't give it a second thought. So all of these in balance. If you have a bookkeeper, you want your bookkeeper to be an accumulator. That's a really good career for them. Maverick brings the spice to life because they come up with unusual solutions. And one of my favorite characteristics of Maverick is that when everybody else has given up and gone home, Maverick stays and knows that there's going to be a solution and they're going to find it, and they do. And it will be something nobody else has ever thought of. So yeah, I love Maverick. All right, so here's a little pop quiz. Here's a picture of Lady Diana. And what archetype do you suppose might be her top archetype? You can unmute yourselves and just say if you like.
Anyone?
I'm sorry. Yeah, just name.
What?
I'm sorry.
No, I'm asking, does anybody want to throw something out there as far as which archetype Prince Diane is?
I'll
I
do
think
it.
sorry, go ahead.
If nobody else has a suggestion, I'll go ahead and talk about it.
Di Maria does.
Okay, Di Maria, go ahead.
If I had to pick 3, I would pick a nurture. Am I unmuted? I am, right?
Yes, you are.
Okay. What did I say? A nurture, connector, and celebrity.
Well done. Well done. So I didn't get a chance to do her archetype assessment, but nurture is definitely number 1 for her. She never wanted a spotlight for herself. Really. She never did. I mean, she dressed impeccably. She always looked perfect, but she didn't care about the spotlight. She wanted to be, making sure people got what they needed, ministering to charities and things like that. So yeah, minister, connector. Yeah, she definitely loved connecting with people. And celebrity, we'll never really know. But
He used her celebrity.
Exactly.
And that's in my belief system, becoming a celebrity creates a position of responsibility. And it is to be used to make a difference, not to collect cars.
Exactly. And I think if she were here, she'd say, that's right on, Susie. That's exactly how she lived her life.
Yeah.
And Oprah too.
Yep.
I love that Susie said that, because that kind of then brings in, the alchemist and some of these others, and that really, whether it's about money or whatever, it's really about balancing all of those archetypes that we all have them all, right?
Yes, very much so. And I think she probably was a high alchemist also, because, she didn't ever, she really didn't care about the money. She cared about people. She was very big-hearted. So yeah, nurturer, maybe if I had to guess, I would guess nurturer, alchemist, and connector, something like that. So great. And so we're all of our archetypes are working together, and they can help each other out, or they can sometimes conflict with each other. And if you're aware of that, there's a lot you can do to smooth it out. So, I always use the example of a couple that I worked with, and I did the archetypes for both of them. And when they were done, they looked at each other and they said, oh, this explains a lot. And one of the things they found is that both of them, their last archetype was accumulator. And they said, this is why we never have any money. This is why neither one of us want to do the bill paying. And so then they became aware of that, and they were able to create a system that worked for them so they could do it. So I just want to quickly go in the interest of time. Are we okay for time, Barbara?
Yep, just keep going.
All right. So, so this, if you're running a business or if you're running a life, it's kind of the same thing. So the accumulator is the best archetype part of yourself to take care of your money situation. And if you're again in business or in your life, your alchemist is most likely to have a vision for your life. This is what I want to do with my life. This is what I feel called to do. And for marketing, the ruler generally does, actually, I have different feelings about that. Well, marketing and sales are different. Marketing, the ruler will get everything organized so that it's ready to share with people. If you build it, they will come, but you have to build it. And the ruler knows how to build it, how to create marketing messages that will mean something to people, how to package your programs and package what you offer. And even if you're working in a job, you need to market yourself to your boss all the time, not, continuously, but you may be doing fabulous things and innovating in the office, innovating, creating new processes, but you won't get credit for it if nobody knows. So that's marketing as well. Visibility. Okay, these things kind of overlap, can you see? And so the celebrity is wonderful for visibility. And just like Susie said, it's like you use your celebrity to shine the light on the issues that you care about,
Yep.
right? And that's the only thing that has made it possible for me to be really comfortable doing public speaking for 10 people, 50 people, or 1,000 people, as long as I don't think it's not about me, right? It's about like, here's what I want to share. And then I get really excited. It's totally easy to be comfortable. Sales is the romantic. The romantic is somebody who can say, instead of like, well, here's a vacuum cleaner, you turn it on, you turn it off, here's how you plug it in. It's like, well, nobody's going to buy that vacuum cleaner. But the romantic can say, you know what I love about this vacuum cleaner? It's really quiet and it's got a great HEPA filter. It's easy to clean, all that, that's the romantic, is pointing out the really wonderful features. So the connector is good for relationships. If you have a manager in your business, you want them to be a ruler and a connector probably, because they will take good care of people and they will have everything organized. They'll be aware of that. Pricing is led by the maverick. Now that's a little unusual, but it's because sometimes you have to be creative with pricing, especially after COVID. The reflex everybody has is, well, I'll just lower my price. Anything goes wrong, oh, I'll just lower my price. Not at all. That's not why people are not buying. And even in your personal life, I'll ask for less. I'll ask, my kids are misbehaving, I'll ask for less. No. It's about getting clearer on what the situation is and coming up with creative solutions. Maverick is great at that. And then if you're building a team, nurturer is great for taking care of the team. I think I would want nurturer, connector, and ruler running my team, because the nurturer is going to be diplomatic. They're going to care. They're going to make sure people are feeling well and that they have what they need. If you've got somebody on your team who's really doing great work for you, boy, you want to take good care of them, make sure they're happy. So this is sort of just a quick overview of how I work with those when I'm working in a business or even just in relationships. And you know what? There's really not that much difference that, there are differences, but if people have issues in their personal life around boundaries, for example, that's all going to show up in their business and vice versa. So all of this just applies across the board. How you do money is a really great window into how you do anything. And when these things get in balance, wow, everything's easier. So I don't know if you want me to talk about this now. I think we want to move now before we do that. And then I've got, I want to talk about the weakest link. Wendy, would you like me to do that, Barbara?
Let's go ahead and move our bodies because we've been sitting for a little while. And I'm just going to put some music on, and what I would encourage, let's come off of the screen share here.
Okay.
And what I would suggest is I'm going to kind of read off in order of the mini assessment, which was, let's see, it was Maverick, Connector, Romantic, Nurture, Accumulator, Alchemist, Celebrity, and Ruler. I mean, that's what I had written down, but I guess it doesn't really matter.
That's
So
okay.
yeah, let's go ahead.
Order is good.
Yeah. because they all have a certain characteristic, and whether you want to like really embody these and do your own choreography, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that we just move a little bit and kind of feel what each one of those archetypes reveal. So I think we can probably hear the music, right? Am I still on
A
screen?
little more.
Here we go. So the first one, Maverick. Rebel with a cause. Thinking outside the box. Maybe mischievous. Or resourceful. Or if it feels good just to stand up and stretch, just stretch. But if you can kind of play with Maverick a little bit, like finding a way, no matter what. If everybody else gives up, you're going to find a way. And maybe you're really high in your Maverick. Forceful. Connector. Oh, we could actually even come up to the screen and connect with one another. How do you connect, people? How do you connect? How do you show that or feel that in your body? Good, keep breathing. Feel it in your whole body. How do you connect? Maybe just connecting with the air around you or the room around you. Ah, romantic. Oh, comfort, beauty, sensuality. Maybe feel the textures of your clothes. Oh, romantic. And nurture. Maybe taking care of others. Maybe taking care of yourself. Everything. Watering plants. Baking the cookies. Doing them. Helping out, volunteering, connecting. Oh, I've got a resource for you. Or maybe just connecting with yourself, that deep love for yourself. Nice deep breath. Good. Accumulator, tight-fisted, frugal, accumulating, making sure that your money is all in order. Saving, or maybe even just expense with balance, accumulating. Keep breathing. Make up your own choreography. Give yourself a little bit of movement here. And turn that into an alchemist. A magician. Saving the world. Something that's for nothing. Thinking outside the box. Good. Celebrity. Oh yes. Loves the camera. Center of attention. Life of the party. Celebrity. Yes. Fun. Creative. Joyful, celebrity, presence. Yes, and then the final one, ruler. Just like we used Oprah before. Gets things done. Has order, structure. Is a builder. Organizes. And then just take a nice deep breath. Maybe let your arms extend up. Exhale. Good. Thank you. So just take a moment and notice how you feel. kind of take in all of that knowledge that you received from Rose, from your mini assessment, which I am putting into the chat box. Good. So let's just have an open discussion of what you're getting, what you're not getting, any questions that you have, what's happening. Or even, you know, where you're at with your intention and how maybe something is showing up, or maybe there's like nothing showing up. And maybe Rose, or if you have a question for Rose.
I'll go first. Am I unmuted? I think I am.
Yes, you are.
Okay. I had to chuckle because looking at all my numbers, they're all high. And then the accumulator comes around and he's a flat 1.
Oh my.
Me
Okay.
too.
8s, 9s. Celebrity is a 5 because that's interesting. I'm working on that one because my personality and energy kind of forced me to be in the center of attention, but I don't like it. I like being right on the outline where, you know, the spotlight hits your feet. Like that's my comfortable spot. But in order to serve the way that I want to serve, I need to step more into that one, which I know, but they're all like 8s, 9s, 10 with connector, and then celebrity, and then accumulator with a 1. So I mean, but that basically explains my entire life situation. So
Really?
yeah, you know, because in order to serve more, I need to get my money right. And my money is literally the only thing in my life. And I know like childhood trauma and all the blockages, and I'm working on inner child healing and that stuff. But I mean, I've been working on this for so long and it's getting better. But to see a flat 1 after all that work was very.
Is that useful? Is that useful for it to be that clear?
See, there they go. Oh, absolutely. To see it, I'm a visual person, but I don't stop to put it visually, or I didn't know how to put it visually. So to see those numbers rank so high in everything, not knowing what I was actually, because I didn't, long story short, I didn't get to print it out and I didn't look at it, but I had it all because my phone wasn't connecting to my printer and I was trying to do it like an hour before, and finally I just stepped out of it and was like, it'll all work out, which it did, because if I would have looked at it previously, I might have subconsciously answered differently. So to see that flat out like that was very, very neat to see it visually. I understand the celebrity. The accumulator, I'm going to have to ponder on for a while.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you for sharing that.
Lap in the face.
No, it's
A good one. I need that.
helpful hello.
So Rose, what would you say to that?